Hello everyone, this is actually my review on 50 Shades of Fred, what you want to call it, Freed, right? The newest one of 50 Shades, okay, the movie that just got released this year, 2018. My review. Pretty good movie. Yes, I know. Um, Storyline, it pretty much picks up from 50 Shades Darker, pretty much, where Christian and Anastasia are getting married. Now they're Mrs. and Mr. Gray. They're trying to live their life, starting, being a married couple. Anastasia's, trying to get used to this marriage life. Stephen Gray, you know, Mr. Gray, or more better off to say it, Christian, who's still somewhat not used to, being super love, understand the term love in his life still. He's still a little bumpy. Where Anastasia is like so happy that she found the man of her life. But there's a problem now. Somebody's trying to ruin their marriage. Yes, things goes all perfect, but somehow you have things getting destroyed by in Christian's company, where he finds out that a certain somebody from the past, where you think it will be, pretty much Christian's past, is really Anastasia's past now, is hunting her. Where they're trying to live their life, but they can't. Where Christian has hired security to protect Anastasia anywhere she goes. And same thing with him, who always had, security with him, but now he doubled the security where he goes to. You mean where he works at? So things get a little rough, and you pretty much you do figure out who it is big time in the beginning of the movie when you watch it. Definitely, if you watch 50 Shades Darker, you definitely know who it is too. So that will be a spoiler alert, right? But other than that, this movie is actually suspense. Yes, and that's pretty much the detail I want to give you for the storyline because you gotta watch the movie. Unless you read the books, so you probably already spoiled who it is anyway. So if you read the books, you already know what's gonna happen. Okay, now for the movie. Um, Unlike the first two, this one's more suspense. Like I said, more like a mouse and cat type of film. You know, almost detective type of film. You're trying to figure out who's doing it and blah blah blah. Where you have actually a little chase scene. So, unlike the other films, you ask, he's like, well, are there sex scenes? Yes, there's sex scenes. I'll admit that. But not so much either. Unlike the books, they do cut certain sex scenes from the books in this film too. Um, you still get the little dominant thing that Christian has. He does that with Anastasia. Part of one of the sex scenes that wasn't like for her is the kitchen scene, where I would say the kitchen sex scene was something. Um, Detail in the movie. Mm, the movie still has. I think that's the one weakness of the 50 Shades films is still lack of detail on big time on characters. Like one example that in the books that I read, you get more small details about Christian's past. You know, his when he was a kid, why he somewhat became who he is. But unlike in the films, they really don't talk about that much. Surely it was in 50 Shades Darker. You do get a little more detail about his past life. But in this film, the third installment for 50 Shades, pretty much you get a little detail more about his past life. Not that much, but it's nearly at the end of the film. Like okay, so you get something about. One thing I will say this: I've noticed a lot of movie reviewers, and mainly the I have noticed too, who review these movies. You know, the 50 Shades films. They're all these guys did slam these movies. I tell myself, I wonder why. Maybe it's because maybe this film is meant more for females. Somewhere it is meant for females. All these films definitely, you know, it's like your soft porn type of film. Where, in my opinion, I always did suggest if they did make the 50 Shade book series into movies, I would say it would have been better off being adult film. Because when you read the books, it is more adult. There's more sex scenes and everything. But your main audience who probably will see this movie will be females. You might have a few couples who might go see it. And when it comes to males, it's rarely to see a male to watch this film. For example, I'm one of the few males probably that all of you know that went to see this movie. I went to see this movie in the theater. I seen the first two in the theater by myself. And every time I was there was always females and a few couples. This time around, I actually saw other male in the movie theater. I was shocked. But like in this movie, again, in the audience watching this film, mainly were females and maybe a few couples. And it was like two males. The other person like sitting down the row and me in the theater. I tell people when it comes to 50 Shades, it's not for everybody. It's, like I said, it's soft porn, almost. And it's more for people who is more curious about sex, I guess you could say, or the whole dominate thing. One probably example movie I always told people watch before you watch 50 Shades was The Secretary. It was the same type of storyline where you had the male who had this almost fetish dominate thing for females, and then you get a female character who's curious about it. But unlike the 50 Shades, in the Secretary film, the female character is the more little kooky in the head. And from that, I tell people, it's like, check that one first. Because for me, that one was a little more well done when it came to detail. You might find it, on demand still. It's a rare film that it shows on cable also. Because I think the first time I watched The Secretary on cable was like, I think either it was Encore or Stars, Late at Night. And I was like, okay, this is actually a good film. Other thing, like, when it came to 50 Shades, I think a lot of movies had made fun about not only the book, but also the movies. They kind of joke around the whole 50 Shades. And one prime example is 50 Shades Black. Where you have the Wayne brothers making fun of mainly the movie, not the book, because if you ever watch 50 Shades Black, it's poking fun of the first film, if I have it right here somewhere, of 50 Shades Grey. And, like I tell people, it's not for everyone. And 50 Shades Black was the general idea of humorous film, making fun of it. That how real life, you can say, most people react when it comes to certain things like sex and everything. And yes, I will admit, reading the books and watching these films, the 50 Shades series, there are moments that it does feel like it's a little dumb, mindless moments, you could say, here and there. But you gotta remember, for entertainment. It's like a fantasy, people. You gotta remember that too. And like what I tell people, it's not meant for everyone. And mainly these books, 50 Shades and the movies, are really meant for the females. You know, that percentage of females who were or who are curious about, the whole being, tied up on the bed or everything, getting whipped, having crazy sex. That's what's basically what it is. Those ones who just like, ooh, let me check this out. It's because, like I tell people, it's like self porn when it comes to these movies. And if you read the books, they're more adult porn type novels. I still haven't read the prequel of the 50 Shades, the book called Grey. Pretty much Grey is the prequel, tells Christian Grey's story when he was young. In the movie, the latest one, 50 Shades Freed, whatever you want to say, I don't know if I pronounce it right. They ended well, the movie. Like a basic ending, it's something like how anybody could end the movie. So does it leave you a sequel? Not really. It just ends the series. And yes, down the line, they can make the prequel to these movies. They can if they want to. They probably won't bring the whole entire cast back. Yes, the mother and father, and maybe if they brought the Christian and Anastasia adult characters, you might have Christian telling Anastasia his story when he was a kid or teenager, whatever he remembered. So pretty much this third movie is the end of 50 Shades. For me, I feel like if you like the first two films, even though the second one, if I have it somewhere here, Darker was a little in between. But if you like the first two films and you still want to continue the story of the films with this third one, I would say check it out. I liked it. Like I say, it's not well detailed here and there, but they end the series well, for my opinion. Like I say, it's not a perfect film. And same thing, like I said, the books, they ain't perfect either, but it's just a fantasy thing about sex, but also you got your drama. But like I said, with this third film, it's more suspense. And the whole idea of getting married and being in a marriage where Anastasia is still trying to show Christian what is the meaning of love. And Christian's trying his best to finally, you can say, really, really 100% open his heart and his mind about the meaning of love. So, my suggestion is, ladies, you have nothing to watch this coming Valentine's Day, check it out. A lot of you couples, if you're interested in watching the film about, a little freaking soft porn type of film, you can check it out. And like I say, and if you like the films, watch it. If you didn't, don't watch it. Because to be honest, when it comes to this week, it's opening week for Black Panther. Black Panther is going to be the number one film that's going to be like selling tickets. Where 50 Shades, Fred, or Freed, I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, sorry, apologize. It's going to be probably the second highest film of this week. So, my opinion for this final grade for this film, I'll probably give it a B+. Like I say, good film, great ending. Details still a little Can be simple-minded here and there. Soft porn, pretty much. Yeah, B+. And like I say, if you ladies are curious for a film, watch this one. Watch the newest and probably the last film of 50 Shades, okay? We'll see if there'll be the prequel down the line, but probably not. Do check it out, ladies, if you like your books and the movies of 50 Shades. Alright, that's my review. Peace.